This episode is brought to you by Kalona Brewing Company. If you live in Eastern Iowa, make sure to swing by Kalona Brewing Company's tap room. Amazing food and amazing craft beer. If you live in Central Iowa or in the Midwest, swing by your local supermarket and see if they carry the Kalona Brewing Company line of beer. And also swing by your local restaurants, local bars, see if they have Kalona Brewing Companies on tap. If not, make sure you guys request it. I kid you not, you won't regret that. Other than that, enjoy this episode, guys. All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Deer Fish Fanatics. This is Grandy with Mom Pop Fishing. We have
Kit with the Fishing Kit YouTube channel.
And today we are on site at a secret location. No, not secret location. We're actually at a local brewery here, one of our favorite breweries, I would say, Peace Tree down here in Central Iowa, in Des Moines, Iowa. And, we decided to grab some beer. And then, you know what? We're like, who would be kind of cool to have on our podcast? A local YouTuber, Mr. Trevor here with Trevor Outdoors here. We just figured you'd be kind of a cool guest to have on, as obviously hunting is right now. It's going full force, and then fishing, the fall bite, and then ice fishing, all the good stuff. So, thanks for joining us, man. How you doing?
Not too bad. How about you?
Not too bad. I am drinking, obviously, Peace Tree beer. I'm drinking the Ward Tree No. 3. It's an IPA.
New England
IPA, right?
Hazy,
something like that. What do you got, Kit?
We are in the East Village, and I got the East Village IPA. Yeah. And Peace Tree is actually, I think that's their most popular beer. This one back here.
Yeah.
Right here.
The blonde, according to Mr. Yang, the blonde fat ale.
Yeah, blonde fat ale. I think that sounds better.
Yeah, it's technically, I think it's pronounced blonde fatale, but I agree with you. The Mr. Yang pronunciation of the fat ale works for me. What do you got, Trevor?
I've actually got an apple pie cider.
Apple pie cider.
I don't do much for beer, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's almost Thanksgiving.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Cheers, guys.
Wait.
What?
That's pumpkin pie. Never mind.
Oh, gosh.
I am tripping. Hey, pie's pie.
Pie's pie. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
That is, dude, it's not hoppy at all, but it does have enough of a bite, and then on top of that, it's got a lot of, what's that haziness, it's got good body. Is that wheat? Hazy? Is that wheat? I don't know. Is it?
Juice?
Juicy.
Has
a lot of citrus for sure.
Yeah. The New England styles are more citrusy.
That's what it is. I think
like Pseudo Sue, one of my faves.
This is similar to that.
Yep.
So if you guys in Central Iowa, stop by the brewery downtown. They also have another tap room. I mean, they're originally from Knoxville near Lake Red Rock. So if you guys ever in the area, make sure to stop by, grab a beer from them. It's really good. Actually, like I said, the Blonde Fatale is one of my favorite beers, so can't go wrong in my opinion, right, guys?
Right. Yeah, Blonde Fatales, man, that one's a doozy. Put some hair on your chest.
There you go. So we got Mr. Trevor here. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about your channel, about your show? Because the big thing about Fishing Kit and myself, what we love to do is we love to get local guys on and just really help get the word out about their channels, and then on top of that, just because you guys are super knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? Especially in these locations of Central Iowa and everything. So tell us a little bit about your channel, about you, and what you're all about, man.
Well, I mean, it basically all started way back, I think it started around 2014, where I posted a bunch of stuff on Facebook, and everybody was like seeing it, and there's a lot of people that either can't participate in the hunts or the fishing, or, they just like seeing that stuff. So I made a channel or a page on Facebook to start. And for the last 5 years, that's what I've done mainly. And then I tried to start a YouTube channel way back, and it was it didn't work out. I got a GoPro. I tried using a regular laptop, and it just wasn't happening.
Just as far as editing videos?
Oh, editing videos, and then it was just the trying to get used to, it's not a shy thing. You can't be shy when you're doing a YouTube channel. Really.
I know exactly what you're talking about because
Yeah, we've talked about that
a year
before.
before I started, for those of you that don't know, I took out a GoPro. I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And then I went out. It was during the ice. Went out, started talking to the camera. This is so damn weird. I ain't doing it. Put that shit away. And then a year later, I'm like, man, I should have just did it. No.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wish I would have started sooner, but it was actually my girlfriend that got me. She bought my first camera, like when I tried it again, and it started there and it didn't stop. It hasn't stopped yet.
That's cool. No, that's good. I mean, you guys are spot on in regards to that because, you know, we talk about this before too. I recorded 7-8 years ago. I showed a bunch of my in-laws. You know, I was on the kayak fishing. I was, you know, on the bank fishing, and I just didn't do it. I didn't follow all the way through with it.
Didn't follow your dream.
I didn't follow my dreams. That's it. Be a YouTube
He could be
superstar.
the
But-
river certified.
No.
The Asian river certified.
I could be, yeah, right.
Well, and it is said though that like a lot of people said that in the last 4 or 5 years, the fishing YouTube channels have they're a dime a dozen almost at this point. But you know, back then it was you start it and it was almost, you know, there wasn't very many people that did that.
Exactly.
So I mean, you stood out a little bit more. Now it's kind of hard to stand out, and you really some people you almost have to have something, you know, give the channel a little bit more oomph.
Yeah.
And a little bit of luck too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because since there's so much shit out there, like so many channels, like you said.
Oh, yeah.
And well, you gotta pray that the algorithm finds you.
And try to find what sets you apart from other people, and you know what's different, and bringing people back, and you know, to your channel.
Yeah. Well, and the algorithm too.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
has a big part to do it. I'm not saying those guys that have the big channels, it's, you know, blind luck that people are coming to their channels in droves, but sometimes for some reason, because like I talked to Spencer quite a bit. Well, we've talked in the past about like man, like what do you need to do? And he's just like, gotta be consistent. And then one day, one of his videos just for some reason just blew up, some random ass video, you know, like nothing special. And like that's what I noticed too. Like, okay, I got this. I feel really good about this video. I spent a lot of time editing, filming. They're like, it's the best video I ever made. Put it up. Man, this video ain't doing shit.
But I think that's the one thing, like you're saying, just stay consistent. Just keep doing it. Somebody will find that video.
Oh,
that one video that you're saying that you felt like it was a great video. It may not gain traction at the very beginning, but sooner or later, I think, you know, if you are yourself and that's your craft and everything, sooner or later people will find it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
As long as there's growth,
Yeah.
you know, however small that might be, that's what I, you know, have to remind myself, because sometimes I'll kind of like plateau with the subs. Like it will kind of suck, but you know, I'll have like one a day.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. Like, oh man, I wish I got one sub a day.
Yeah. I don't even look. You're right. I mean,
I try not to look, but
yeah.
man, it's like so
It's
easy
hard not
look.
to.
Yeah.
It's you know, views and subscribers. It's hard not to pay attention to that.
Like if I went a month without any subs, like going up, then I'd be kind of sad. As long as there's growth,
Yeah.
no matter how small, like one sub a month, hey, you still grew by one sub, right?
That was
Yeah.
one person. No, you're right. Because that's one person that, you know, obviously saw something on your channel or your videos that, hey, I can dedicate my time to watch this guy or this girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it just, as long as you show growth, that's the cool thing. And I think a lot of people were looking to get into the YouTube world, like you guys are saying. It's a dime a dozen, but you know what? Just have fun with it. I'm having fun with it. My kids are loving it. So I'm just doing it honestly, like I said. I mean, just to kind of have fun. The kids wanted me to start recording, and then that's it. I'm just doing that, and then you know, sometimes I think, because I suck at fishing, and it's a fishing channel, so it's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like for me, it's tough, but you know, I get a chance. Like I said, I get a chance to get out more with my kids, to record moments that, you know, I may not remember.
Yeah,
And
that's
they're-
a memory.
Yeah, it's a memory, and then now it's recorded, so it's permanent. So I think, because I save all my video, even the shit that I don't catch or I'm never gonna show, but if it's with me and my kids, it's just like little moments like that that I'm kind of cool and happy to do and just save it. Because, like I said, 10, 15 years down the road, I was telling Kid one day, I was like, my kids, they're going to be in college. They're going to not want to fish probably with Dad, but I can at least go back, or they could even go back and look at the videos like, holy shit, that was when we were 6 and 8 years old fishing with Dad. Those are the things that I really want my channel to be and grow and aspire to be. But like you say, if we can ever get as big as any of the other ones, great. If not, that was not my goal.
Even though we're like drop in the pond, so to speak, in the grand scheme of things, locally, I feel like people know us.
Oh, yeah,
people know
definitely.
you. Like we always have that local crowd.
Yeah.
Like, and there isn't really too many like local guys. There's 3 of us in one room right here, but that was on purpose. But I'm trying to think of local Iowa YouTube guys.
Denny.
Fishing wise, I would say there's a good,
Maybe like a dozen off the top of my head.
Central Iowa, I would say probably about a dozen that we've met or know about. I would say it's a good dozen, but that's not a lot if you really think about it. It's really not that many.
Not worldwide, it's...
Compared to, like, let's just say if you go to, like, Denver or Colorado or Minnesota.
Man.
Imagine Minnesota. You know how many channels there are from Minnesota? I was just looking the other day. I was like, I couldn't even count.
Or like the coast. Like go to West Coast, East Coast.
Yeah.
Probably tons of channels out there.
So I think that, just so, if anybody's listening to this or watching this, if you guys are looking, if you're in Iowa and you're looking to, if you're thinking about it, just do it. Have fun with it, though. Don't, curve your expectations, but also have fun with it, and you'll see growth. But I think it's prime because I believe, like, even our podcast and stuff, viewers and listeners, they're all over. So they're wanting to know information about Iowa, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Because, primarily 80% of the shit we talk about is Iowa stuff.
Yeah.
So people are listening and wanting, because they may come and visit Iowa. They'd be like, wow, we never knew fishing was that good in Iowa, or in your case, outdoors, like hunting. People want to, because you do all of that.
You got the extra edge on me and Granny. You got the hunting aspect of things.
So tell us a little bit more about your channel, Trevor. Just what do you all do and everything on your channel?
So, a lot of it I like to try to be instructional too on some videos. I like people to be able to, if they decide, I want to go shoot a deer and process it. Granted, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to show like all the processing a deer on the channel yet, because sometimes YouTube kicks some of that stuff, but
but like especially lately, YouTube's been kind of
they're a little chancy, but even just stuff like I make a lot of brats. I use deer meat to make brats, brat burgers, summer sausage, snack sticks, and a lot of people don't know how to do that, or they buy the box and they try to follow the instructions on the box and man, it didn't turn out very good. I don't know what happened, and they don't have any instruction, people helping them on how to do it. So I like the fact that, maybe they can look up on my video and it'll either give them an idea or, they can follow my video and try to remake it themselves. But, do stuff like that. And I like the fact that I can do fishing, hunting, cooking. That's why I called it Outdoors Iowa. Originally that's what I started with, and I just stuck with it.
Yeah, and I think it works because you can year round.
Oh yeah, there's not a time of year that I'm not out doing something. If I'm not fishing, I'm hunting. If I'm not doing one of either or, I'm still outside. I have to do something.
And you're doing something you love. That's I think that's a cool part. Like I said, anybody who's looking to start a channel or do anything, just make sure you love it. Because when you get into it, obviously you love fishing. You guys both love fishing. You love hunting. You love all that. It just makes it a lot easier to do.
Well, loving fishing and hunting is one thing, but the editing and the social
time.
Media, that takes time. You have to be able to. You either have to love it or you have to be able to at least put up with it. Because if you can't stand editing videos,
it's gonna get old quick.
Yeah, it's gonna get old quick. Your heart's not in it.
Nope, you have to be in it.
Because sometimes I'm like, man, editing videos, like this shit is a drag. like shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it is Tuesday and I upload every Wednesday. But that's an expectation that I've set for myself and for my audience. I upload every Wednesday. And if I don't upload every Wednesday, I let myself down. I let, maybe a couple people in my audience that they're eager to see my video every Wednesday. If I don't do it, it's like, okay, I'm letting these people down.
Yep.
See, I'm different from you guys because, like I was saying, I suck at fishing. So I love the editing part. I love being somewhat creative and just keeping it, as authentic when I do my videos. But I can't catch fish, so I can't put a video of skunk. You know what I'm saying? So I completely have the complete opposite of you. Like,
Whoa. I don't hate editing videos. No, don't get me wrong. Because there are some times where, like, man, that video was freaking dope.
Yeah.
Can't wait to upload it. And then other times it's like, oh, man, the pressure's on. I got to upload a video on Wednesday. The only footage I got kind of sucks. Or, like, something's wrong, audio, video issues, stuff like that. But
Oh man.
I love doing it.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't, I wouldn't do it at all.
Exactly. But at least you have content to edit. I struggle. It's hard, man. Because, like I said, I got the kids. I can only get out for an hour. And you guys already know. Sometimes that 1 hour.
Oh, it's not enough.
It's just not enough to get any. You just I'm crossing my fingers like, all right, can I catch at least 2 fish to possibly make a video of this? Honestly, that's what I'm doing. But like I said, I'm having fun. I get an opportunity to take the kids out. It's a reason to tell boss lady that, hey, I gotta go fishing, man. I gotta get content. All right, kids, let's go. You know what I mean? I get I don't know, man. Maybe it's a little selfishness that I kind of love about it. I'm able to take the kids out, so it's kind of cool. But
Okay, Trevor. So right now you're in full hunting mode, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's say if you could hunt anytime during the year, would you pick hunting over fishing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No joke. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually once the hunting season starts, that's it. If I hear there's a hot bite for fishing and I have time, I'll try to go do it. Mm-hmm. But usually hunting takes priority.
See, I wonder if your mindset would be different if you could hunt anytime you wanted to. Kind of like how you can fish anytime you want.
Yep.
I wonder if your priorities would be different.
I think it would be because, really you get, 3 to 4 months out of the year at most. And that's depending on what you're hunting. A lot of people don't hunt for everything, the wide variety of all the, animals that we can.
Yeah, because each season's only, a couple weeks long maybe? Something like that.
You got shotgun season for deer that runs, one season only runs like 5 days.
Right.
And then the other one you get basically 2 weekends out of it, so it's almost just a little over a week long.
Okay.
So you don't get a lot of time to do it, and when you use deer meat as heck, as prices is going up of everything. Hamburgers $6 a pound now.
Yep.
I'll try to take deer meat and I have a grinder. I have all the stuff to work in. I can make it into whatever I want and use it for meals or snacks, whatever I want to make out of it.
Okay.
But
Here, I have a question. I'm guessing you love the game that you hunt.
yes.
So you love eating it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so one of my buddies, I ain't gonna say his name.
I'll say his name.
Yeah, he's trying to get me to go duck hunting and stuff, and I'm kind of whatever about it. But see, the thing is, he duck hunts, but he doesn't like eating duck. What kind of hunter is that?
It's maybe he had a bad time, a bad experience with it, possibly. A lot of people don't know how to cook wild game.
That's it.
And yeah, if you cook it right and you process it right, it's a whole different ball game. If you have somebody that shot a deer, they left it hanging for a week to 2 weeks, and then finally cleaned it and then started processing it, depending on their cleanliness while they're processing the deer, it can change the taste dramatically.
So what if he tried it multiple times? Like he consistently hunts, but he also consistently doesn't
Try different ways.
He'll try different ways, but he consistently doesn't like it, and he's just at a point where I don't like eating duck. Should he even hunt anymore?
Oh no, you can still hunt even if if you don't. There's a lot of options that you can do. You can donate the meat.
Yeah.
Almost any homeless shelter, which they're in every major city, they will take anything. They'll take deer. There's actually programs where you can take deer into them, and that's what they use to feed some people. That's a huge help. But ducks, it could be the same thing. There's people I know that go out snow goose hunting. Snow geese are a major problem. There's so many. There's no limit on them.
Heard they're like I don't know if it was snow geese, but they're like something's like the rat of the skies or something. Maybe those are pigeons. I don't know.
No, it's a good question though, because fishing's a little bit different. If you don't eat fish, which one of my brother-in-laws, John Bronner, and he doesn't really eat fish.
He'll eat some yellow bass though.
Yes, he loves yellow bass.
Yeah,
he goes,
he'll eat
that's
those
the
are
one.
tasty.
Shout out to my brother-in-law. He goes, that's the one fish he'll eat. It's crazy, but all the other fish, he loves the fish, but he catches, release, or he donates it a lot, right? But that's the thing about fishing. You can catch and release. Like you don't have to. But hunting's a little bit different.
Yeah, no, you
It's-
can't.
You're committed to harvesting that animal.
Exactly, but that's really good to know that hopefully people know that you can donate meat to the homeless shelters and stuff. That's really cool.
Well, it's cool that so the guy that you're talking about, it's pretty cool though that he tried it multiple times. That he's trying to find something that he liked.
Yeah.
Because you may not like it prepared one way, but you find another way, and it's just like, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't hit that. Wow, this duck's amazing yet. But
My favorite, like it's hands down one of my favorites for duck is bacon wrap it, throw it on a grill, and then you hit it with a little barbecue sauce right before it's done, and you have to cook it. Basically, thin sliced bacon. When the bacon's done, the duck is done. If you overcook it, it's gonna be tough and it's gonna taste like crap.
Yeah. That's what I always heard too. Cause
So you almost need like a medium rare to almost a rare on the duck.
yeah, that's because he's giving me duck too, and he always says don't overcook it.
Yep.
Like, well, you don't like it no matter what, anyways. So I don't know if I can take your word for it.
Does he not like Peking duck?
No, well, that's different. Like,
I don't know.
freaking duck at Lee's Chinese Barbecue on
Oh,
Second
it's
Avenue.
yeah.
Oh man, that's freaking amazing. For me, duck. I'll eat it. I don't love it, and for some reason, some cuts of deer, for me, it's like, but then I love deer sticks though.
Oh man.
Like if I hunted deer, the whole thing would be deer sticks.
Well, I used to do that actually before I got a grinder. I used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
It just hitting the grill with a deer steak and the taste is amazing.
Oh, deer sticks.
Oh.
I don't know. Forget this guy, man. Don't listen to him.
Well, was it you that I gave some of those to the veterans event? I think I shared some jalapeno.
Oh
deer sticks with you.
yeah. Those were good. Yeah, I love deer sticks. And
Well-
if I have a whole deer's worth of deer sticks, not steaks, but I did have some deer. I don't know what it was. Deer steaks.
Deer
earlier.
jerky. Have you had the deer?
Yeah, deer jerky's okay.
But deer sticks, no, you're right. But it also depends on who makes it. Because I've had deer sticks.
Sticks or steaks?
Sticks. Sticks.
No, if I can have a whole deer's worth of deer sticks, I'm good.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that is a lot of work. But I did have some deer steaks earlier this year. I don't know what cut it was. It was cut by Asian people. They don't care. It's just there is no cuts. They just freaking take a knife and just chop away.
Way to stereotype us, man.
There's no such thing as back straps or loins when it comes
It's
to
meat.
You're actually right.
For like an older Asian person, they don't care about cuts of meat. They just take a knife, tack it up, throw it on the grill.
Yeah,
It was actually pretty damn good. I have no idea what cut it was because they probably don't even know either. It was really good.
I have to try that. Well, I don't think I've ever really had a full deer steak. I don't think I've ever had one.
If you ever want to try something good, if you can, you have somebody. It's hard to get them because everybody loves them, but the deer loin.
Deer loin. Okay.
And once again, we're gonna go with the bacon wrap.
Okay, where's the loin
Yeah.
on the deer?
Basically, just down each side of the spine, going on the back, on
So
top
that's
of the back.
not the back strap? Where's the back strap?
That's the back strap. Yep.
Oh, okay.
The loin,
okay,
deer
okay.
loin is back
Yeah,
strap.
I heard that's like the best cut. on
Well,
the
and
deer.
so say you order beef, a filet mignon.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Okay.
Or a ribeye. There's a section of the ribeye that's really tender.
Yeah.
That's the loin going right down
Okay.
the cow.
Okay.
But once again, you take that deer loin and I actually leave it. I'll cut it in a foot long section, and I mean it's a medallion size, so it's a pretty good size. Bacon wrap it. You can either throw it on a grill or a smoker and cook it to where, like I said, until the bacon's done, and it's just almost perfect. And that stuff is so tender. I mean, if you try it, you won't even know the difference.
Interesting.
Like my kids, they love deer meat, but like my girlfriend's kids, they've never had it before. They've never been around a person like me. And there was a day that I took and I cut up the deer loin and made it almost like a filet mignon with a bacon wrap around the edge of it, and cooked it up. And I mean, it's hard because you want to tell people what they're eating, but also they just, if you tell them it's deer, they'll just be like, no, I'm not having that. I don't want that. But they tried it and they were coming back seconds, thirds. They were like, man, this is amazing. What kind of steak is this? I was like, it's deer steak. Really? I like deer then?
I think you're gonna have to do like a video of the loin, man.
Actually, if I remember it, I think I have one up.
All right.
I have a video of the bacon wrapped deer loin in the smoker. I did a amazing jerky recipe that I did a honey habanero, and it's a wet marinade jerky, and oh my gosh, that stuff's amazing. Like, can't get enough of that. And then I do have plans to make some brats and some brat burgers here soon and show the process of it. Like, granted, I have the bigger machinery to do it all, and not everybody needs that. Like, if you think you need it, you don't. You can go and buy a little hand grinder that costs $20, $30, $40, and you can make a batch of brats yourself. And then if you decide, you know what, this is something I want to continue doing, you don't even have to have deer meat. You can make it out. You can go to the store and buy pork and make your own brats, add your own seasoning, and it's something that you made. It's something that you like, and it's the flavor you want. And that's a nice thing about it. I mean, it can open your eyes up to a bunch of other things when you do stuff like that, processing your own meat.
So, what's your favorite game to eat?
I mean, deer. Deer is, I mean, you can do so much with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got, at any point in time, like, I usually try to get at least 5 to 6 deer a year if I'm able to, which I'm pretty fortunate enough. I can usually keep up with that. And I'll have at least 150 pounds of ground meat that I can make into whatever I want. I mean, if I decide that year, like last year, I decided I want brats.
Yeah.
I think I made like 600 brats.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it was taking them camping, taking them, guys at work, we have a little George Foreman. I'll cook up some deer brats. And, oh man, that was so awesome. I had a whole freezer full.
You gotta hook me up with some deer brats.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes for me, deer, like I had my neighbor, shout outs to Elton. He probably never listens to this, but he gives me deer all the time. He gave me ground deer, and I made spaghetti with it. I was like, I don't know if I love it.
Sometimes, so now here's a huge difference. Now, a lot of people will take their deer to a locker. Like, not many people process their own deer, unless they're really into it. When you take it to a locker, you don't know if it's your deer you're getting. They put everything in a pile, basically. And
really?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know
so,
that. I thought it was okay. So that is new. I didn't know that.
That's one of the reasons why I make sure. Now, granted, some lockers are pretty good about it, and they do have really good standards of they check what comes in.
Okay.
But I mean, I like the idea that when I shoot a deer, within 24 to 48 hours, it is packaged, cut up, and in the freezer. And you can't tell me that's not fresh. I mean, that's you can't get that fresh in the store.
No, that it's just like we go fishing, we catch a catfish, and then we take it to a locker, then we get somebody else's catfish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you add it to the pool.
Yes. I didn't know that though.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. And that was the whole reason why I started in the first place. I mean, my dad, he always talked about it, and he's like, once I was old enough, he's like, here's a knife. You can do all the work now. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
But yeah, I started processing my own deer, and it just grown from that. I didn't have a grinder, and eventually got a grinder. Opened me up to more possibilities of what I could do with ground meat. I mean, because like you say, steaks. I used to make a bunch of steaks. You can steak out a deer quite a bit, and then whatever's left, you can make into jerky if you want. And and that's if that's what you're happy with, that's what you're happy with. But me, it might be like this year. I have a whole bunch of deer meat that's sitting since I'm working on getting a house, and I've been in this process all year. It's been a nightmare, but almost done. But I'm gonna be getting into this house here first couple weeks of December. Well, I have 140 pounds of deer meat still in the freezer, and deer season's coming. I'm like, this isn't good, you know. So my idea was I have a patty maker, and so I like the brats. Well, I was like, you know what? Why don't I make brat burgers? I don't have to stuff them because stuffing them in the casings does take more time.
Okay.
So I can make those burgers and get them done real quick. And you know, with the kids' help, oh man, it just goes. It's almost fun. I mean, and then you know, tasting it right away, you get to cook it up and then you freeze some of it and have it all set. You know, so I mean, every year I get to decide. You know, well, this year I might want snack sticks more.
All right, we got camera turned off. That's the perfect time for me to go take a potty break.
Thank you for joining us at Deer Fish Fanatics. And this episode is actually brought to you by Whisker Seeker Tackle.
So make sure you guys go to whiskerseeker.com for all your catfishing gear.
Enjoy the episode, guys.
Well, like, just get since we're here, get them involved and stuff. Like, they didn't know we were coming. We were like, hey, he called, like, well, we're going to record a thing here. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I called him ahead it's all right.
I think they'd appreciate, like, the shout out too. While it happens.
Yeah, we gave a shout out. Peace Tree. Heck yeah. All our 10 listeners going to come drink now.
I feel like 100 is our stride right now, right?
I don't know. Last time I said, what did I say, 50? Okay, we're at 60.
Between like views and downloads, right?
Way more.
Oh,
I've got to catch up on the last few podcasts myself. Like, I usually listen to them while I'm at work because I can put earbuds in and then.
That's the thing.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold it against you, man. Like, I'm not the biggest into podcasts because I don't have a lot of time. Work. I actually have to move around at work instead of sitting at a desk, so I don't have time to sit there and listen to podcasts. I try to listen in between my commutes if I can. Lately, I have been like the Short Rod Show. Shout outs to them. I've been trying to catch it in between commutes and stuff, but I ain't gonna hold it against you. If you're like, oh man, I can't believe this guy haven't listened to every episode.
Very true, man.
If you got time, you got time. If you don't,
Yeah, no, luckily I have a job that I'm able to just plug in and listen to a bunch of podcasts. I usually listen to a ton of them. Kind of my educational ways, I guess.
You can learn quite a bit from them, and it's fun to listen to too.
Agreed. Well, there's some crappy podcasts out there too. I'm not gonna lie, man. There's some I'm like, God. But then again, that's probably why they don't last. Some of them. There's a lot of. Okay, so this is the thing. I think the last time I looked, there might be a little bit over 1 million or so podcasts nowadays. I think it's over 1 million or so. That's nothing. You got to think about YouTube channels. You're talking like hundreds of millions, I think. So, but podcasting is in the infinite stages. Honestly, it really is, and it's gonna bloom. I think podcasting is gonna be the next level of books. It's gonna be the next level of media, and how you can get. This is the thing. We're so busy watching the news, and you get like snippets, right? 5 minutes, right? 10 minutes or whatever, right? And then go to the next topic or whatever. A podcast, you can technically, there's the reason why like Joe Rogan has a 3-hour podcast, because you can dive into everything and really get your point across, whatever you want. We did this podcast, I think we started, let's just do 15 minutes. We literally started, let's do 15, 20 minutes. I don't think people's going to really want to listen to fishing. And all of a sudden, people are like, dude, they want more. Now we're like at over an hour or so.
Yeah, because at first we were like, okay, it's reaching that 1 hour mark. We're going to break it up. And then eventually we're like, no. We'll just keep it all together, F it. Instead of splitting it up between a week, 2 weeks, we might as well just keep it all together because people that are really into it, they'll listen to the whole thing. I mean, if not in the same sitting, they'll like
finish
I said,
eventually.
I'll finish it out eventually, like between different sessions throughout the day.
And that's why I love podcasting. What you said right there is because when you watch a movie or you go to a movie theater, you have to you're committed, because you got to watch the whole damn movie, right? I mean, when you go, you pay the money to go see it. Same thing with like shows nowadays or news, like I was saying. You watch 30, you have to kind of sit there through all the commercials. Podcasting, you technically can listen whenever you want. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, an hour here, 30 minutes here, and you can, absorb all the content. That's why I love it. I'm telling you guys, I think podcasting is the future of just media in general. Because, currently right now, knock on wood, it technically is not controlled. I mean,
Not yet.
it's open.
Hopefully
it's
they
open.
don't.
It's. I mean, hopefully they don't, but it's complete. I mean, if somebody
Unless you
wants-
go on Spotify and say things people don't
Yeah.
like
But-
Joe Rogan.
But they can. But they technically can. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, if you own your podcast right, you can talk about whatever you can. I mean, as long as you're not threatening anybody, technically, you can talk about some crazy shit. There's some crazy podcasts out there, but I'm just saying, like, it's currently right now, it's not controlled, and you can create and have it your own. So that's a cool thing about it for now. So until there's gonna be,
Well, yeah.
you know.
Well, anyways, since we're not a podcast about podcasts, I'm gonna take a page out of Spencer's book. You know, he kind of has like I wouldn't say like an interview process, but kind of like there's key points that he goes on. He basically goes down a list, and I have one question on my imaginary list, and then we're gonna do kind of like a round robin. Was there ever a time that you ran into an asshole fisherman, like while you're out fishing? Can you tell us about a time that you had to deal? Well, not necessarily an asshole, but like, we're a situation where it's like, man, this guy sucks.
I got a pretty good one.
All right. Okay, all right. We'll start with you, and then we'll just go round robin.
So Street is that was one of the first places I fished when I moved here in town.
Oh,
Like-
east side. We'll just call it the east side.
Oh yeah, we don't say locations
Yeah,
here.
East
Sorry,
side.
I forgot.
It's
about
all
that.
right.
So there was a very popular location, and I had been in waders, and I'm walleye fishing down in the water, under the bridge. Yeah, we can say that. So
Yeah.
now there was this dude that was up on top, and he was intentionally throwing like huge bass lures, trying to hook us down there because he was so mad that we were down there fishing where he wanted to fish from the bridge. Well, we had gotten there first, first thing in the morning before anybody else shows up, and walleye fishing was great. Everybody starts seeing me catching walleye down there, and they're just getting jealous. He's sitting there throwing this, bass lure out. One, waders they're not cheap. You're spending $200-$300 on a good pair of waders to stay nice and dry, warm. And then not only on top of that, I had just, I went and bought a brand new walleye rod, and I was like, a better rod. I'm gonna catch more walleye. That was, back then I wasn't catching a lot, and it was a $400 with between the reel and the rod. It was a $400 combo.
Damn.
Yeah, and he had hooked my fishing pole.
The pole.
With that, yeah, he hit my fishing pole. Like he was coming within feet of us, and he had hit my fishing pole, and you could just see me. I came unglued. I started heading for the bank, and I'm not a violent person. I don't like fighting or anything, but you try to ruin stuff like that, like my waders or my nice fishing pole, I'm gonna come say something. Well, come to find out, like later on, I had met him later on duck hunting, and he does all the same stuff I do. And we brought that up, and I knew exactly who he was. I'm like, that day you were close to getting thrown over the bridge. He's like, no, I was. That's why I was heading for the bank. Oh, I just left because I had to go.
Well, at least there's like a kind of a happy ending to that story. Like,
Yeah.
Kind of. Well, I wouldn't say reconcile things with him, but at least he knew. Like, oh, okay, I got it.
I think. Do you have a lot of because we bank fish a lot, and I think I run into a lot of boaters that come right in front, especially if you catch something or I'm next to you and you catch something, and then I just I would say that's probably my biggest issue. Not even with I've never actually ran into somebody next to me or whatever that was an a-hole.
Or just confrontational, or just trying to mess with you or whatever.
Luckily, I haven't ran into those. I mean, in person. But the boaters, for some reason, is crazy. It's just that they have the whole lake or the whole reservoir or the river, whatever the case may be. But for some reason, they come right in front of you.
Oh yeah, especially
And
they see
then-
you catch fish.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest issue, I guess, in my times of fishing. That's usually when I'm like, because I went off on one guy before. We were up. I was in where we normally fish, Kit, and I think Sean was with us, Saki fishing with me, and I don't know, man. Maybe I just had a chip on my shoulder that day. I don't know if I was there first or they were there first, but they came up to us and we were crappie fishing. I'm just like, dude, what the You got the whole thing here, and you came right in front. I mean, I'm talking about right in front, kid. I'm talking about from here to that camera.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
like,
close.
That's hard to.
you got the whole spot. Well, I think his. I go, dude, you got the whole damn lake, because I said it really loud. I go, dude, you got the whole. Come on. We, you know. And he like, well, this is where the fish are biting. I go, all right.
Like, damn, he's not wrong.
I get, but I was just like, come on, dude, you got a boat. We're kind of limited in our spots to where we can technically fish at the moment. I'm just like, oh my god, and Sean's a really nice guy. Shout out to Sean. I'm an a-hole. I was like, come on, dude. I was being a little aggressive. I think I was the aggressive one. I think
The guy in the boat, he's just lazy. He has a boat, like you said. He could cover the whole lake, but he just knows, okay, this one spot that I know is producing fish.
Yeah.
He
doesn't
found the fish for him.
And that's my thing. So I don't know. I mean, so that's the thing. Let's just say the boat guy was there first.
Yeah, different. I would say that's a different story.
If he was, but I don't remember. If he was there first, if I go, let's just go kind of next to him, and maybe I go 50 feet down, and then he kind of crawls over to you or whatever. It's just like, but like you just said, he's a little bit lazy. There's plenty other spots that I'm pretty sure fish are biting. You just got to go find him, but you have to. He has the access to do it.
Yeah, you have to be so lazy that you can't motor over to another spot.
Agreed. But I think that would be my only issue. But like I said, luckily I haven't had your issue running to a gentleman that.
Oh no, we already talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about another story.
Oh, so this is what happens when you get a fish a lot. You got another. So what happened?
So I was down at a spilling way, and I wasn't even really catching fish, but there's a little wall on this spillway. I maybe caught one fish the whole time, and there's these couple other dudes. They're on the same wall fishing above me. I decided I want to change lures. My bag's like on the rocks behind me. I turn around, go switch out my rods, and when I look back, there's the guy that was like above me, maybe like 10, 15 feet away. He scooches in where I was. I was like, what the F?
I thought you were done.
I've seen that happen in real. Okay, shout out to my other brother-in-law, Buck Dan. So this happened to him in front of me. I saw this happen. So, he was fishing, probably that same body of water what you're talking about.
No, it's different body of water.
Oh, was it? Okay, but he was fishing and he snagged, and no, this is what happened. He actually. He caught a fish, and he was fighting the fish, and the fish swam underneath whatever structure or whatever, and it got caught, right? And he's like, shoot. So, he snagged. So he had to break it off. He turned around. He didn't go anywhere. He literally, like you just said, he turned around to retie his stuff. And we were catching here and there, so it wasn't on fire, but it was catching. He literally turned around, and somebody... I love the Amish people. Don't get me wrong. They were Amish, man. I'm not stereotyping or anything, but I'm telling you, they literally went right in front of him. So he turned around, retied his lure. I wish I was recording back then, because it was like to see his face, my brother-in-law's face when he done tying. He was excited. He just had a fish and he lost it. Turned back around, and somebody was standing right there. And you're right. I was just like, I don't know what to say. I'm trying to fish over here, but I saw him, and all I could do was laugh. I was like, dude, that's messed up.
It's funny until it happens to you.
Yes, that's exactly
for me, man, I just turn around. Okay, I'm going to switch out my stuff, grab my other rod, try something different. This guy just scooches on in.
Yes.
And then, I'm not really a confrontational guy. But I just, I was like, I ain't gonna try to push him out of my quote unquote spot. But I was like, I was letting it be known how I felt. I don't know if he understood me or not. Probably not, because he was just kind of like, oh.
Oh, it's like they don't think they did anything out of the ordinary.
No,
because when that
when that happened to my brother-in-law, The gentleman looked at my brother-in-law and smiled.
See, but that guy, understands English.
Yes.
For one.
Hey, I hope my brother-in-law listens to this because, yeah, he would be like, yes, that is my story. I'm sticking to it. He's like, because he's a nice guy. My brother-in-law's a nice guy. And he's just like, what the This guy literally just went right in front of him when he turned around and was just tying his stuff. It wasn't like he climbed up the rocks and go get his stuff or anything. He just turned just to tie it. But
that'd be hard not to say something.
Yeah, and it'd be hard not to get a little. I don't know, man. I wouldn't, like I said, I would not say I'm aggressive, but I do have a short fuse here and there. I would have went off. I would have been like, what the, you know what I mean? I'm like, what are you doing? Because I don't get an opportunity to catch fish that much, and then you come and just hustle my spot. And I was here first, and not even hustle his spot. It was like he literally went right in front of him. That's a great.
Another thing you can do, just scoot right next to him, and just fish shoulder to shoulder. And then they'll probably get upset. But.
Combat fishing. That's what that's what we call it. But that's why I'm like, man, we gotta get a boat, kid.
Oh, don't even get started on a boat.
I don't know, man. I mean, hey, you kayak fish though, yeah?
This year I got into kayak fishing. Yeah, I bought a kayak and I wanted to get on the river. I wanted to get to different bodies of water without having to rely on a motor.
Mm-hmm.
I have a boat. I've had a boat for almost 10 years now, and it's ran maybe 3 of them. It's been a nightmare with that boat. Like I'm to the point where I'd rather almost sell it and then I know I'm just gonna buy another one. Because I'm like, I still, it makes sense to have a boat because all the stuff I do. But if you can't keep a boat running, it doesn't make any sense.
So, I mean, I guess you're the perfect person to ask then. Okay, so a lot of people, like, we have, great kayaks that, that we've had or he has too. What's the biggest, I guess, draw to a kayak fishing versus a boat fishing?
I mean, the kayak, I feel like you have more versatility with the kayak. Like you're limited by, if you just stick with paddling or pedaling, or you can put a motor on them. But I mean, you're limited by what you can do with it, as in how far do you want to go. Mm-hmm. If you're wanting to cover a lot of water, I see a boat being a smart choice. But for the kayak, you can get rivers, ponds, lakes, shallow water. If you want to go through anything you want, if you have 6 inches of water, you can go through it. Like I did that today. I was actually out on a spot trying to duck hunt this morning, and it was an access where there was some water, and then it had a creek that connected to a lake. And I was floating through 6 inches of water to get to the lake. And in my mind, I'm like, oh man, I'm going where nobody else is going duck hunting. I'm gonna see some ducks or something. And it just didn't work out. I didn't see not one. But it was still pretty cool to be able to get on the, through the creek, get on the main lake, and then just look at it. And then I realized, oh wow, that's pretty windy. And because that does hurt you in the kayak. If you're paddling into the wind, the first, what was it? I bought that kayak this spring. The first 3 times I took it out, it was 25 to 30 mile an hour winds each time. And you guys both kayak. I mean, that's tough.
It sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Highly recommend
straight
it.
Up sucks.
Yeah,
sucks.
if you stop paddling, it'll turn you, and then you have to get yourself situated back to start paddling again. I mean, it was almost like, man, I really bought this kayak, and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, that's that's the one thing. Listeners, viewers, if you're thinking about kayaking, fishing, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but like these gentlemen just said, if you see the weather forecast, it says above 15, 20 miles per hour, don't do it. It does, because you like you just said, you have that conversation in your head to yourself. What the hell? Especially if you have to go, let's just even half a mile. If you have to go half a mile into the wind, you literally have that conversation inside your head. Oh, yeah. Like, this is stupid. Why did I even come out today? Why did I even do this?
Well, and you have to plan it out. Like, you have to pay attention to storms. I mean, there was a video I watched of you on your channel not that long ago, and I just remember in the background, the sky was black almost.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, I'm going to get out of here because it's coming. And you just see it in the background. It's just dark purple and black. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah,
that could have been dangerous.
Because it was basically, if you watch the video, sunny, I'm catching catfish. Not a care in the world. I was having a blast catching. Yeah, I was on a really good catfish bite. Then my buddy, well, actually the hunting guy, texted me. He was like, "Hey, there's a storm heading your way." I was like, "Really?" And then I looked at my phone. I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I noticed that I looked back. It looked like it was far. Normally, I saw like this dark wall of clouds, super far away. Okay, maybe it's like an hour away. But I was like, I fished for a little bit. 10 minutes later, then look back. I was like, that thing is getting really close. So I started booking it towards the boat ramp, and it got to me before I got to the boat ramp. I almost got knocked over my kayak. That's how crazy it was, and I barely got out of my kayak because basically it blew me to shore. I couldn't control the kayak. It just blew me to shore, and then I just hopped out. And luckily there was this older guy and his wife. They got out and helped me. It was freaking old guy, freaking he got out and helped me pick up my kayak. It's not a light kayak either, with all my stuff, probably at least 100 and some pounds. Freaking old guy. I was like, okay, you pick up this end, I'll grab this end, and I know he was struggling. I'm like, man, bless that guy though.
Big help, yeah, definitely big help.
No, man, that's the one thing about kayaking is that, especially with kayak fishing, just check the weather.
Oh,
but
man.
no, you're right. But you didn't even know it was super sunny, right?
Yeah, it was super sunny, clear. It was super calm, and then it basically went from 2-3 mile per hour winds to 30, like just a wall, boom.
Yeah.
How about ice fishing? Have you guys ever been stuck out in a big storm ice fishing?
Like, I'm trying to think right now. I usually just double check the weather and make sure that I'm not going out into some crazy stuff. I think though we were up in Okoboji at the IGLs once, and it was like it was pretty snowy, pretty bad, but it wasn't. I don't think we've ever been out where it's like, holy crap, we're stuck. I don't think we've ever had that issue.
Like, I've gone out knowing that it was gonna be not the greatest, but I've never been blindsided like I was in the kayak.
Yeah.
I had a trip once. It was right when I first started ice fishing, and just knowledge is key. If you don't know what you're doing, take somebody with you that does, or have a good idea. And I went by myself to, and it said there was a storm coming.
Hey, no lake names.
Oh, yeah, that's a hard
We'll
one.
just
penalize
bleep it
them.
out. We'll just cut it out.
Yeah, you're fine.
But yeah, anyways, your story.
Yeah. And I took a pop-up shelter out there for ice fishing, and I tied it to trees, and I'm like, I'm going to do some good fishing. And nobody else was on the lake. And then next thing you know, I get a call from my mom. Are you still fishing? And, yeah, well, there's a huge storm coming. Didn't think nothing of it. I kept fishing. Well, all of a sudden I can feel the wind start picking up. And lo and behold, come to find out, 70-mile-an-hour winds was coming.
Damn.
And a blizzard condition. And I just remember hearing something, and I cracked my door in my shelter and look across the lake, and all of a sudden you just see a dust cloud of snow coming at you.
Yeah.
And it was all I could do. I put my back against the shelter, against the wind, and I just, braced myself, and I sat there. And finally there was a point in time, what was it? I think my mom called because she didn't hear anything from me, and they had sent the ambulance and sheriff out to check on me. Wow. And they actually, they were like flashing sirens, trying to get me to come to them. And I ended up getting out of the shelter. I'm like, at this point, my shelter, I don't care. I got out of my shelter and made it to the boat ramp, and I sat in their car, and they're like, well, I would recommend not going out there and grabbing your stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm going to wait for a bit.
You, actually, no, I take this back. There was one time. Mark, if you're listening, and my buddy, Magoo, we went on New Year's Eve. The worst experience of ice fishing in my life. What you just said exactly happened to us up north. We went to a body of water up north from us. Everybody goes there. It was about 25 to 30 mile an hour winds.
That's enough hints, man.
Oh, sorry, dude. It's up north. Come on, man. Just go up to Minnesota. Shit, man.
It's up north. That's not too far from us.
Yeah, that's where we fish, man. It's up north.
This far, like this many minutes from us. There's these fish here.
Come on, guys. But That's exactly what happened to us. And the thing was, I had a pop up. There's 3 of us, and it broke. And because it was so windy, it broke the those
Hubs.
The bars.
yeah, the bars.
The hub. The hub.
So this is the crazy thing is that because we were skunked at the moment when it broke. So do you stay or do you go? Well, we stayed in a. This is technically a 4-man hub, and it's broken on one side. So you can just imagine our backs to trying to we're fishing because we want to catch fish because this is New Year's Eve, and we're out here. We're gonna catch something. Granted, we caught shit that day. We didn't catch a single damn thing except a broken hub that I got and broken egos. But no, you're right. It's like. It was not fun. That was one of those days where I think we call it like I think 2016. We just call it the 2016 trip. You can ask our buddy Mark, or you just go ask him, Kit. He'll remember. I think it was 2016. He'll remember till this day.
I forgot what was I doing.
I don't know. You were supposed to go with it. You were probably like smart. You're like, no, man, did you not see the weather? we saw the weather, but we still wet. But
Well, like most of the time, it's like I try to check the weather, and a lot of times where it's not really too much of a deterrent for me. And I don't know. I must have been sick or something that day because usually I'm down to go fishing. Or maybe I was like, I don't want to drive 2 hours.
3 hours, 4 hours, maybe.
Yeah, you never know
Just
how
saying.
far.
2-3 hours.
4 hours, maybe.
What's the coldest you guys have been ice fishing before?
Wind chill factor involved, or just
both? Let's say both.
I think last year was
Last
probably
year-
minus 40.
Minus 40.
Yellow bass tournament.
Yeah, it sucked.
Oh man,
That
you guys!
weekend.
I can't believe what you guys did.
It was the
though.
coldest weekend of the whole winter. Yeah, there was a ice fishing tournament that we did. Coldest I've ever ice fished. I've been ice fishing for 6-7 years, so not terribly long, but man, like normally for me, I like being outside running and gunning.
Yeah.
Or I'll be in a tent in my shorts because I got the heat on, like super comfortable. That day, I did not want to move. I was like, this sucks.
It was miserable.
It's tough.
It was miserable. Well, because it was the wind chill. It was more because the temperature was probably like minus 15 to minus 20, but the wind chill made it minus 40. So we were like, fudge. Like you just like Kay was saying, like, man, it was just miserable. Like, we're not going outside, man. It was just miserable. Like, it just wasn't fun. And it got to the point, like we were saying, because we had another trip the following weekend. We're like, the following weekend we went to the IGLs, and we're just like, we just drank and had a good time. We didn't really even ice fish because we're over it at that
Yeah,
point.
I was like, it was so bad. I was like, all right, we got one more trip in, and I'm wrapping it up.
So speaking of that, like, damn it, still can't find my auger. So I think we did that last episode. Like, all right, so this is the thing. Fishing Kit found my heater, so I saved a little bit of money on that. I can't find my auger, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know, dude.
Well, the hand auger?
No, well, it's the attachment is a laser. Something, I don't know, man. So this is the thing. I can't find my damn auger, so I'm going to have to get a new auger. Now,
Wow.
the boss lady's like,
Don't you have enough fishing gear?
Exactly. And then I bought more stuff this year, and then she's just like, why you need an auger?
So what are you looking at getting if you had to get an auger?
Right now, probably either the Nils, or I'm looking at the light one that you have,
Light flight.
or I might just get what's that other one that they have that's really super
Pistol bit?
Key
yeah,
drill?
the pistol bit.
Boo on the K drill.
Yeah. The K drill, I was looking at that a little bit, but it's I don't know. I've used that a couple times. I don't know. I mean, you guys tell me. Okay, so this is the thing. Ice fishing is almost coming up. What kind of auger? So obviously you guys need that. Anybody's getting into ice fishing, that's the first thing you're gonna need. You need to be able to cut a hole into the ice. So what auger should I get if I had to get a replacement? Do you guys recommend?
You go first, Trevor.
I mean, I've had quite a few different ones. The only thing I haven't experienced yet is electric, like the ions or whatever they have.
Mm-hmm.
But I started with, multiple gas augers. They work great, but having to mix gas, all that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It really does. I ended up getting into a Jiffy propane auger. Now, that thing's a beast. It will I can cut a football field of holes Like I'll go and I'll make like a whole graph of an area of 200 yards or more, and then chase the fish around. I love the auger. It's worked great for me for 7 years now, which, you know, when you're spending $400 or so on an auger and you get that many years out and still going, that's a good investment. Recently, though, I was wanting to lighten up a little bit because I got a bigger shelter. You know, I take my son, my stepdad out a lot of weight, so I ended up going with K-drill. And
Oh shit! Damn. I was over here knocking on the
I know.
drill.
Well, and here's the hardest part though is you're in the middle of winter, and what ended up happening was I had a crack in my propane hose on my auger.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, can't get the hose, and I ordered it. It's gonna come in 2 weeks. All right. Well, in the middle of ice fishing season, if you do any of this kind of stuff, you go to the store and you look at the shelves. Usually, it's bare.
Yeah, everything's
especially
gone.
lately.
Yeah, everything's
And
gone.
the only thing they had left was a 6-inch K-drill, and I'm like, 6 inches kind of small. And so I ended up getting that, and that saved us our trip because we were doing an hour-long trip and on a private lake, and we're gonna be down there all weekend. I'm like, man, if I don't have an auger, I have a spud bar. But that's I don't know if
That's
you've
even
ever
worse.
tried that. That's terrible. You know, that's if you have to. So I mean, it saved the trip, but I mean, I would be interested in. I mean, there's a lot of different options. The Nils, hands down, is a smooth auger.
That's what I keep. I mean, I've used my brother-in-law's Nils, and I love it. It's nice, but the only thing is you got to make sure, because if you put it on your drill, you got to put it right where the notch is.
Yep.
'Cause if you don't, it gets slip and it drops in. And I almost did that. I think I did do it too. My brother-in-law's, and luckily it stopped.
Oh man.
Because this is the thing. So if you get a Nils, is a Nils ice auger. If you don't put it in the right notch on the drill, it will slip down and it will drop to the ground. There's no floating device like a K-drill has. It just drops. And almost dropped his, and it did drop. It just luckily.
Well, the nails is like freaking what is it, like steel or I don't know.
Yeah,
it's metal.
yeah.
But you know, I heard it's one of the sharpest and longest lasting edges on an auger. Like the K-drill. I mean, you know, I was talking shit about the K-drill, but they were like one of the first composite drills out there, and now everybody has one.
Yeah.
Was it Ion has a composite, Strike Master,
Yep.
Eskimo. I don't know if Clam does.
No, Clam just does the plate. I haven't seen them do any.
They have an auger though.
Do they really? I haven't
Like
even
the
looked at it.
freaking old school hand auger.
Okay, because I haven't even.
But yeah, not Eskimo. K-drill was like basically the first composite drill or auger out there, and now everybody basically has one.
Yeah.
But the thing about the K-drill is you get, I think, do you get like free sharpening on the blades? Because like it's like it's not blades really like. What
It's
you're
a
talking about
serrated
here.
tooth.
Yeah, but it's like the whole bottom of the auger, right?
Yep.
You would send that whole thing in, and they sharpen it for you.
Yep.
So, but it's like lifetime or something that they do it. Or?
Yeah, for sharpening, I believe, and then I think you have like a 2 to 3 year warranty on it if anything breaks.
Yeah, so that's the cool part about the K-drill.
And I guess the K-drill, you can reopen old holes.
Yeah.
That's
It basically has like a chipper blade on it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and that's the biggest draw to the K-drill hole, because if there's existing holes from the day or 2 days or a week before, you can technically re-drill that hole with that.
Yeah.
So
So
without hurting your blades.
Yeah.
it has its merits.
Yeah.
I can't deny that.
That's how that propane auger is. It has a chipper blade on it too. Granted, it's only got one blade on it, but for a 10-inch auger, you can go through some holes pretty quick.
Damn, 10-inch.
Yeah. And 1 pound, it runs off those little 1 pound propane tanks. I can go a whole season on it, and I'm telling you, like, there's a body of water that you chase, you know, a lot of yellow bass on it. I don't know if you ever. I've had good success with. Like I said, I'll do a football field of holes every 10 feet, and I'll just drill a whole bunch of holes, and you can follow them all through and follow the school doing that. And people will be out there watching me. I'm sitting here running down holes, and I mean, I just don't stop for like 20 minutes, and they're like, "Man, what is he doing?"
You're that guy. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm aerating the lake.
How many holes are you doing?
But I've done that, and I've caught a lot of fish with that technique.
I get it.
That's smart though. Just drill ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then once everything settles,
Yep.
that's when you start
Very
catching
true.
fish.
When you catch the fish, like if you leave them next to that hole and you're moving around and okay, it usually works really well. You come back to that hole later and you can. They usually they stick to certain structures, and you can just keep on them, and it works really well. I do it with crappie too. Like you can if you find the school of crappie, you'll follow them. I mean, yeah, I don't have a live scope. I wish I did, but money wise, you can't on some people. But
yeah, I'm with you, Trevor. I ain't rich, live scope. We ain't living high class. We only people who own live scopes high class fishermen. Just saying.
But
there's a few scrubs out there that own live scope.
I've watched a lot of videos on it, and it is neat though that you can be able to follow that school of fish 100 yards away from you, and be able to target them like that. And I thought that was really neat to be able to use it. Like it would be a game changer, it really would, if it wasn't so expensive.
What? So you tell me, you love your auger that you purchased for last year?
The Light Flight?
Yeah.
Oh man, that thing's freaking sexy.
Okay. I was thinking about that too. I was thinking of a possibly. Well, obviously I can't find my auger, so I've asked all my buddies. I have no idea. I don't even know how the hell you lose an auger. I didn't leave it behind because I have the plate, the clam plate, so I took it apart. I don't know where the hell I put the auger.
Yeah. Funny part is, you go buy a new auger, you're
I'm gonna find it. Yeah. I guarantee.
Never fails.
Or somebody's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I got it, dude." Mother.
Yeah. See, well, like I upgraded to the 8-inch Light Flight last winter, and before I was like, man, do I need an 8-inch? Like, is that necessary? But with the live scope, if you want to use the transducer and fish out of it, you need an 8-inch. 6-inch, the transducer, basically you're kind of like rubbing.
Oh wow!
Like you're rubbing on the edges down the hole, let alone fishing out of it. And then, but man, that thing freaking is smooth.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cause I was looking into that. So but like I said, if money's an issue for any listeners or watchers who's getting into ice fishing, just go get an auger. You can get a hand auger and get a decent workout. If a hand auger, if you're gonna get a hand auger, I would recommend get the laser. They're fast. Yeah. 6-inch laser, one from Strike Masters. It's probably under $100. I think, right?
Just about.
Yeah. I would say just get a 6-inch Mora, honestly.
Well,
it's cheaper. The blades are cheaper.
Agreed, but it depends where they're fishing, because if the ice can get to, let's just say 20 inches or plus.
Well, we're in Iowa. You rarely have that problem.
That's true. So, but if you're in a spot that has some thick ice, that Mora, yes, it can work, but you're probably not going to hand auger that many holes throughout the day.
I feel sorry for the person that does.
Well, I don't think it matters which auger you have. Then, if you're gonna hand auger through 30 inches of ice, whether you have a Mora or a laser or a Nils,
that's a lot of ice to go through.
Yeah,
with
that is a lot of ice.
But now with the options, how many households have a power drill? And they're making it now these days where almost any hand auger, there's people turning them in on a power drill.
Very true.
And it works. It used to be a point in time where it didn't work. Now it works. The only thing that you really, I've seen a lot of people do a Frisbee or a 5-gallon bucket lid, and they'll attach that to the top of the auger. That way, if it comes out the drill chuck, it gets caught in the hole. It doesn't go down.
Yeah. And then most of those new augers, they all come with a Frisbee type of thing anyways.
Yep.
Like the pistol bit, Light Flight.
Yeah, Nils. How come you guys don't do that?
Well,
I almost lost my brother-in-law's freaking auger.
Well, they're still making a metal, whatever auger, kind of like your Moras and your lasers.
But with that offset handle on that Nils, that's one thing that you don't see on a lot of any other auger.
Very true.
And I've heard that I've never gotten to use one personally, but I've watched it, and oh man, it's smooth.
Yeah. Nope, I agree. But that is something. As an ice fisherman, I'm gonna have to reinvest in if I can't find mine. So be it, man.
Could see if who was it? Derek Wilkins. He had a Ion for sale for a while this year.
Yeah, I kind of splurge. I gotta be a little budget-wise friendly.
He got the half step towards the live scope.
Yeah, I went half step on that one. Yeah, I didn't get the live scope. Like I said, I think previous podcast we were talking. I got the Panoptics. Couldn't afford. Well, I wouldn't say I couldn't afford it. I couldn't justify it to the boss of getting a live scope. Not yet. So
It's okay. We hopped on my buddy's boat, and he had not live scope. He had Panoptics. It did its job, you know.
There you go.
I think it's got different applications. I mean, I've watched a lot of videos on it, and I feel like if you're set up on top of an area of targeting fish, I feel like a Panoptics would work a lot better than a live scope. But then again, a live scope can do either or, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't gotten to use one. I want to. I just research as much as I can because I am interested in it. Last year I decided to, since I'm getting into the filming, I like having the GoPros and I can watch all the the action in the hut or where I'm fishing, but underwater I don't have anything. And I had an underwater camera, but to be able to make a regular underwater camera work, you had to have all these extra wires and batteries and a recording mode and a capture device. And I was like, do I really want to do that? So I ended up looking it up, and I ended up buying a Markham LX9. And it has, all you have to do is push one button, and you have a memory card in it, and it records it automatically. Now, if my backup fish finder, I have a Vexlar, if it ever goes out, I can use the LX9 as a fish finder and a camera. But at the moment, I use it just as a camera, and I can record video under the water when I'm fishing. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
It's expensive. I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
I had the Markham Quest.
Yeah, you did.
Just a standalone camera. I sold it so I could get the live scope, but now that underwater footage is nothing beats it.
Yeah,
Nothing
it's
beats
crazy.
The underwater footage.
I was up at a lake that was up north, and I just remember we're watching the screen, and I all of a sudden you see a mouth come into the view, and I'm like hitting that button. I couldn't hit that button fast enough, and I swear it had to be a 40-inch muskie coming through the hole. Like it was just rolling right through. I'm in 6 feet of water, and that muskie just comes right on through. I mean, just being able to see that and knowing it's down there. Like if you have just a regular fish finder, Vex, there's a big red blob. Now it's gone. No idea what it was. Could have been a muskrat going through. You never know,
Very
but
true.
with a camera, oh man, it's a whole whole different ballgame to be able to see it. And if you have kids, oh man, it will keep them occupied all day.
Yep.
It will keep me occupied all day. I love seeing that stuff.
Very true.
When I had it, I was like, man, this is so dang cool. I think when we took his kids out, I was more engaged with the freaking underwater camera than they were.
You were,
Like, dude, here comes the shad, man. That's so freaking cool.
The kids went outside to play in the ice and snow, and me and Kid were like, "Oh, that is pretty cool." We're just like watching the screen.
So now, like, I want to go back to an underwater camera. I won't replace the live scope, but I want to have one in tandem, just for the underwater footage, because, like I said, nothing beats the underwater footage. Nothing
Agreed.
beats it.
Pretty darn cool, man. Man, dude, we've been talking for quite some time. This is awesome, man.
Over an hour. I think.
Over an hour. So thank you so much, Trevor, for coming and joining us. Man, Kit, you got anything else for him?
If our audience wants to, get a hold of you, find you on your social medias, what's all that stuff?
It's Trevor Randles Outdoors Iowa, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I haven't really tried to get in anything else for social media platforms. I try to keep up with what I have. I mean,
Right. There's so much out there.
Yeah.
I tried the TikTok thing for a while. I'll probably go back to it if, once everything slows down and stuff. But other than that, for me, it's just YouTube and Facebook.
Just do what you can do and enjoy it. And this is awesome, man, having you here, having a couple beers. I'm going to go grab one more before we head out home when I'm cleaning up. But no, this is so cool, though, just to have you guys. Like I said, Fishing Kit and myself, we really love pushing and just getting the word out in regards to local, whether it's YouTube guys or just fishing guys and stuff. So it's kind of cool to have you on here, talk a little bit of fishing, but really, you educate us a little bit more about just being outdoors, hunting, all that stuff. Helps us, help me learn, get a little bit better. But we'll definitely put all your links in the show notes and everything. But And other than that, thank you so much, man, Trevor. I appreciate it, brother.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
And we got to get on the ice. We got to get on the ice together this year.
I
We'll
want to.
record.
I didn't make it last year. I knew you guys were out, and then
Yeah.
I just didn't get out. But
You can show me some of those perch spots.
Yep.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Yeah, we'll just record it and just not tell you guys where we're at.
Secret lake.
Till next time, guys.
See ya.